Okay.
All right, and we're back. Episode. This says episode 16. That's supposed to be 160. That's a typo. But episode 160, folks. Back at it again this week. And we got Travis joining us as he eats his cookout. The cookout clash.
Yes, sir. We
He's
got the cookout class shirt on. I'm eating the cookout. Look.
Sorry.
I think that's it.
Oh yeah, we just had a debate over this over the weekend. Bailey fucking hates cookout.
I didn't say I hate cookout. They just lower their standards a lot.
They lowered their standards?
Well, okay, you gotta think a tray went from $5 to $8. The burgers are now like frozen shit.
That's inflation, baby.
I haven't
That's
been
everywhere.
to cookout in a hot minute, so.
I mean, you know.
I mean, I
Cookout
feel
still
like
has
the
good
bar was
chicken.
already fairly low when we're talking about cookout. It's like a Waffle House, you know.
But now they're trying to compete, so they're raising prices, but the food is still like the same, but if not worse.
I hear
Bro,
that.
that's everywhere. You just described everywhere.
I feel like Taco Bell's been pretty consistent.
Prices have still gone up.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But still, Burger
Prices
King, they've
up
been
across the
constantly
board.
ass. Sonic's been constantly ass.
Zaxby's used to be so fucking good. That used to be like an appointment meal when I grew up, and I would go down south, and then like it's fucking terrible now. Like I almost never eat
Every
there.
time I get it, the fucking fries are cold as shit.
Dog shit.
No salt.
Yeah, yeah. Or you either get too much salt or no salt.
Yeah.
But
Well, not to bury the lead, I guess, but enough about the fast food. How was I guess you guys were boots on the ground for the racing this weekend there in the hot land or cold land this weekend. Looked kind of
cold
chilly.
land.
Looked kind of chilly from on TV.
I have a blister on my third toe because where my feet were freezing so bad, and when I started walking, they warmed up, and it was just rubbing against my shoe, and it rubbed my fucking toes raw.
Dude, Saturday night near the end of that Xfinity race got pretty fucking brutal.
That was bad.
That chilly.
Yeah.
That was bad. My lips are still somewhat chapped from it. And you can see how red they are.
Yeah.
I kept the Carmex in the pocket, luckily, so I was ready to
Oh
go.
yeah, God! I learned my lesson 2 years ago when we were in Atlanta, and that wind was like,
Oh,
yeah, it was like 20 degrees outside, and the wind was fucking blowing all over us. That was
I have a picture of myself at that race where I just have like a jacket like completely fucking
everyone
wrapped
was
around
like
my
bundled
face.
up like this. We were just
Yeah,
was bad.
it wasn't as bad as that one this weekend. But ain't it funny? It's like, because I don't live too far from Atlanta, like 2.5 hours, and it's like, it's back to fucking 75 here.
Yeah,
Like,
I rode my
it's
motorcycle the other day.
Yeah, it's like,
What was Sunday like?
It was better. It was better.
Mid
I mean,
50s.
obviously, the
still a
sun
little
was
cold.
out then for the most, or at least the start of the race. The sun was out. But
It was still cold, but it wasn't as bad as Saturday.
It was like
Yeah,
mid
'cause, like,
50s.
it warmed up nice here. I mean, the mid 50s here is like really warm for right now. I mean, this week has obviously been a little warmer, gotten up to mid 60s, but yeah, it seemed like a little cold from everything I saw on TV. It seemed like people were bundled up, hoodies and beanies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
I didn't have to put my big jacket on Sunday.
Oh,
If
I
that
had
gives,
3
I had my
layers on.
hoodie on, but I didn't put my big jacket on.
I had
got
3
you.
layers on.
Did y'all camp out down there, or what was the
Nope.
accommodations like? Hotel?
Wait, Travis, go ahead.
I don't know what just happened there, but yeah, no, we stayed with my buddy Chris. Good ass dude in fantasy league with him, and he lives up in Roswell, like an hour north. So we all stayed with him. Shout out to him. They were very accommodating. So we came back from the race Saturday and stayed with him, and then they bounced out. Oh
I
shit!
got a Woodbros pitch shirt. Dude, a fucking gold mine. You can't find these things. Oh, sadly, it has this shit on it. But still, it's a fucking gold mine. It's still a
Who
fucking
was
gold
that?
mine.
Nice
Harrison.
Harrison Burton shirt, bro.
Fuck you. It's got the rookie thing on it too. So, but
Shout
still,
out.
Cooper found this for $25.
It's dope.
And dude,
It's a dope
oh
piece.
my God.
That's a
I've been
sweet
I
wanting
mean,
that
Harrison Burton
honestly,
so
shirt.
fucking
you wear
long.
the, nobody's ever gonna see Harrison Burton on that. Wear a backpack.
Exactly that, or just like I'll just do like
Wear
who
a
they do
flannel
old
on top of
jerseys.
it. You're set up.
I'll just put a piece of tape over it and
Yeah,
just put
exactly.
Josh Berry.
Like the Browns jersey with like all
Yeah,
the
like
different
40 different fucking
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks on it.
Exactly.
But no, Atlanta was fucking great, man. I mean, I wish it because honestly, like I will say, the attendance wasn't that great, and I still want. I just don't get it. Like, it's one of the best tracks in the sport right now. It's like it's a very easy track to get to because it's like not far off. It's like you don't have to go into downtown Atlanta to get to that track, and it's like very easy access in and out, and it's not too far from the highway, and it's like one of the best races we got out there right now. And every time I go there, it's like I scratch my head wondering why more people don't show up because of how
Yeah,
fucking awesome it's been.
Certainly
unless it's a
this
summer
new.
race.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but still, it's like this style of racing is incredible to watch. Those last 45 laps were just on the edge of your seat, barn burner
Remember,
racing.
remember when they first announced fucking do Atlanta and all these motherfuckers were crying about it?
Well, they
Like,
didn't have a good track record. Let's not.
yeah,
I mean, to be fair, they didn't have a good track record leading up to that, and they were just seemingly making these bold changes for no reason. I mean, granted, I know they had to do the repave and all that, but it was just kind of just like these big sweeping bold changes for no reason. But no, it definitely has worked out, paid off for at least I don't know. This is year four of this 3.
sounds right. For
I'm pretty sure they
22,
repaved
20,
it
yeah,
as soon
4.
as the next gen came around.
So 2022. So this is year 3.
But I mean, like, I'll say this, and it's like maybe a hot take, maybe not. I don't know. If they didn't do what they did to Atlanta, like I think Atlanta would be a fucking parking lot like Kentucky is right now. If they didn't do what they did to it,
I don't know. I mean, you
but
hear all the talks about let's go back to Kentucky and all these mile and a half. The
Well,
mile
Cole
and a half,
Custer's back in Cup Series, so I mean, shit, bring it back. Let
run
him
it
win again
back,
there.
run it
Let him
back.
win it again.
I'm just saying, like I don't
Green
think
white checker,
Atlanta, like
baby.
because
Oh.
Atlanta was, and the attendance still isn't great, but they were really struggling with attendance and fan support before they did. And I feel like it's definitely gone up, and just the general sentiment around the track from fans has gone up since
And
this reconfigured.
you would think after last year, a lot of fans would have wanted to come out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you would think that shit would be sold out almost, like damn close
I
to it.
mean,
But I mean, there were
especially, I mean,
so many open
you're not
seats.
far from Daytona market, and so
Mhm.
people that didn't go to Daytona or want to spend the extra dollars to go to Daytona can go to Atlanta, see similar style of racing, and then I mean, obviously, you get a lot of bang for your buck. It's a doubleheader on Saturday and then a 400 miler on Sunday. Um, Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, especially this time of year when I mean the only thing you got going sports wise. I mean, you got a lot of good basketball teams in that market. I will say that the SEC is
Worry.
damn good in basketball this year. But I mean, come on, guys, you can't give up a weekend of college basketball to go see some good racing. I don't
Hey,
understand why the why it's hard to sell tickets there. I
I
hey,
don't.
I
wouldn't
did
really
both.
count Saturday as good racing. That fucking Xfinity race was terrible.
I I did both, by the way. I was sitting there watching the end of watching the Auburn game like the whole second half while we were at the Xfinity race.
Because the
Well,
Xfinity
that's
race
the
was so
thing.
fucking bad.
Well, that's just the technology these days too. You get on the Wi-Fi there, you can watch something while you're there. Shit. I mean, bring a tablet in. You can. It's feasible. I've done it. I've watched racing while at the race, or football for that matter at the race.
We where were we? We were fuck. We were somewhere out there. There was a big World of Outlaws race going on. I remember we were like in the stands and you pulled it up. I can't remember which race it was or what. It might have been like we were at Martinsville and you pulled up the National Open or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Um, Something. Yeah, I remember we were at a track one time, and I remember like we were on. We were like, I was like, fucking pull up dirt vid. You like brought the whole iPad into the track with you. I remember we were sitting there on the iPad watching a sprint car race while we were at an Xfinity race or something.
Yeah, that's definitely doable, man. And so, I don't understand why it's hard to sell tickets, especially to this style of racing. I mean, it was great racing on Sunday all day long. I mean, you didn't have hardly any of the fuel mileage saving bullshit. No
Thank
talks of that.
fuck.
And I mean, you had the 2 wide, 3 wide racing all day. People making moves. It was almost more reminiscent of the old school speedway racing, super speedway style racing, in my
Well,
There was a
and that
couple
was
moments where you thought they were gonna start saving because they would go single file after restarts, and then you're kind of like, well, fuck. Hopefully, it doesn't stay like this.
I
And
mean, at some
finally,
point you do
I'm gonna
gotta
break it
log
up.
laps.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
And,
well,
mean?
and then finally,
and Marcus Smith said that when they first redid Atlanta and they built the surface like they, and he said all this when they first redid it and they were first bitching about the plan and everything. He explained it. He was like, they built it with material that was designed to wear out quickly. Like he said that when they first built it, which it has. And he said like that's exactly what they wanted to do is they wanted to recreate like an old like handling super speedway like the old Daytona before the repave used to be. Like that was their vision with this track and it's gone exactly how they intended.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's
fair.
what I was about to say. It's crazy to see how much that track's aged. All the
Yeah,
rough
it
spots on the
is.
track, and it's over only 3 years.
Certainly
Oh,
the
Yeah,
4 years.
coloring. I mean, those hot summers in Atlanta, it'll do it.
I
Hmm.
But yeah,
remember
I don't know
year
what
one.
you
Yeah,
could
that
do
was
to
it.
go ahead.
I was saying year one, like you go there and yeah, it was like black, and then like you went this weekend, it was like gray, and they actually had already patched it in a couple places because like right in front of where we were, like at the end of the dog leg, like there was a big patch on there. So I don't know if they already had like some of the track coming up or something, but yeah, they did have a big patch on there, and they had like the sealant strips on the track. Like it's definitely like worn out a decent amount already.
Hmm.
I believe they
It's
built the Wilkesboro repave the same way. Also, they designed that one to wear out pretty quickly too.
hell yeah. Hopefully the fruitions of that keep paying off because it's been. I mean, I said I enjoyed all the racing this weekend. I thought it was pretty good stuff. All 3 series, really. I mean, I
Whew.
know it's. I mean,
I'm not saying because I don't like
Saturday
Austin
night.
Hill. I'm just saying Saturday night, like Xfinity
It's
race.
the RCR clinic. I mean,
It
those
was,
are
it was, and
Well,
it was.
those are the best cars in the field.
it was a good race. I thought the Xfinity one. It's just Austin Hill was just so good. It was like so up front. It was like this is, and I'm like we'll get into the races more, but just
And
like hit on
Bailey,
that
I
real
mean,
quick.
we should just be mad that our dumbasses left him off the board and let Travis have the win last week.
Yeah, that's true. I feel
I
fucking
We're
tried to
stupid
give
for
him to
that.
you
stupid
guys.
fucks. We're just stupid.
You gave me Kyle Busch. Well, I think I picked Kyle Busch before you guys. So, but yeah, I tried to
Cheater.
give you guys Austin
Oh, I knew
Hill,
better than to pick him.
and then um fucking yeah, Saturday me and Bailey were talking during the race, and there was twice during the race and like noticed it where you have a good car on a super speedway where Austin Hill was in second behind Jesse Love twice and just went around him and passed him without the draft, just like passed him on his own, like with no push or anything. And to do that at a super speedway is crazy. And he did it
Yep.
twice to his own teammate. It's like
No
that
fucking help.
car just handles
That
so
just
good.
shows
Like
you also too how much he knows what's going on with it. I mean, even you flash back to the week before at Daytona. I mean, he got wrecked out obviously, but he was obviously a major player in that race. And I mean, it's not as easy to control the lines at Daytona as it is. I feel like Atlanta, but yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely did a masterclass job this weekend,
Fuck yeah.
and got revenge from from Daytona.
Yeah, it was a good race by him. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was boring to me to watch because it's just kind of him just fucking dominating the whole time for 143 laps, and then Jesse Love leading the other laps. So it's good to
by the
see
way,
RCRs doing something right in one series.
this might be the only podcast you listen to this week where we're not just going to bitch about the caution thing the whole podcast. Because my God,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about it, but it's just like every single NASCAR show this week. It's like we just had a great weekend of racing, and it's like why is fucking caution fucking like serious? It's all they talked about like all week. It's the caution shit. Like my God.
Have you
Yeah,
heard
I
about
mean,
that shit with Corey LaJoy and David Pittman?
nah, what
Oh
happened?
yeah, it was
You know about it, Travis?
his lie. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, Derek, I'll tell you the little story real quick before we go on to the
it's a
race.
lie. There's no like his friend even said he was lying, but he was gassing it up.
Yeah, okay, so Pittman, one of our buddies, he was on the bus in the infield. Um, after Saturday, I
What
think
bus?
it was so they some of our buddies they have a big school bus that they park
Oh,
in the
okay, I
infield
got you,
that
I
they
got you, I
turn
got
into
you.
like a RV thing that everyone stands on. But they were all on the bus, and I think it was after Saturday after qualifying, they went to go see all the drivers by the gate because they were in the infield. and they waited out there. And Corey on his podcast, he always talks about how no one has the balls to ever say you fucking suck. So Pittman, this dude is loud as shit. He doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. He don't give a fuck. If he didn't know you, Derek, he would just straight up just grill you on the spot. He doesn't care. But he's a really nice guy. He's funny as hell. But he saw Corey and he's like, "Hey Corey, you fucking suck." And then Corey just like looked over at him and then put his head down and walked away. And then on Corey's podcast, Stacking Pennies, his latest episode, if you go to 7 minutes to go, like 7 minutes left in the episode, Corey brings up Pittman talking to him saying that. And Corey's like, "Yeah, I was walking to go sign some autographs, and there's this guy that yells out, 'Hey Corey, you fucking suck.'" And then apparently Corey said that he told the guy, "Thank you, man," or something like that. It was like because he was thanking him. He's like, "Thank you, man. I need to hear that. Anything else?" And then he said that Pittman like put his head down and just didn't say anything else. And then he said that the next day he was at the Shore Systems tent that was in near the like haulers, and Pittman was walking with Dakota, all those guys, and a couple other guys, and a wife and a kid. So there's this one guy that brought his wife and his kid, and Luna was there, Dakota's daughter. But they were walking, and apparently Corey said that he saw Pittman, and he was like, "Hey man, got anything to say today?" And he said that Pittman put his head down and kept walking and didn't say anything back to him. And then he apparently thanked him. And then Pittman, he reactivated his Instagram and Twitter and everything. And he asked Corey, he was like, "Hey, man, why don't you tell the true story?" Because none of that happened. So Corey's trying to act hard.
I believe Corey's side of the story.
I don't. But he did call out Pittman. He was like, "Yeah, he's wearing a black Budweiser jacket and a black 45 Reddick hat." And then, and then Pittman posted a picture. He was like, "Hey, Corey, tell the true side of the story." And it's him at Atlanta wearing the black Budweiser jacket and the 45 Reddick hat. And he's sitting there doing this.
I don't know. I believe that because his own friend like said he was exaggerating what happened because he was like, "Yeah, this happened," but he didn't say any of the other guy. I don't know. You know the names better, but he was like, "Yeah, this happened," but he definitely didn't say any of those F-bombs he's talking about. So I don't know. I tend to believe. No offense to Pittman. I mean, I like the guy. I talked to him, but
I believe it.
But based off both versions of the story, I lean closer to Corey's side than I do to his.
It's just funny though to see that Corey and David Pittman are now beefing now.
That is funny.
But
Team 54 here has a good idea.
Next time, just film it.
Usually I do, but I wasn't with him.
I wasn't with him.
This is not a Dr. Pepper ad.
Yeah, this is not a Cherry Coke Zero. Usually I would. If it was me and like Pittman told me he was going to do it, I would definitely get my phone out. But because that would have been good to actually post the actual interaction, be like, "Corey, you're fucking lying," or "Corey, he's telling the truth."
Yeah. No, I wish it was on video because I don't know. Like the fact his own friend was telling us he was lying while he was telling us the story I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle of what he said and what Corey said. But
that's fair.
Well, y'all wanted to get into some racing?
Yeah, man.
I'll take a bite of this quesadilla.
It was a good weekend though. It was my birthday weekend. I usually always do Atlanta.
Happy birthday, my guy.
Thank you. Travis bought me a nice Traveler whiskey hat. I really do appreciate that. I wore the hell out of it yesterday. But yeah, it was a damn good weekend. I enjoyed getting to spend time with everyone. Sit with Travis, meet some new guys, meet Chris, the dude we stayed with. Super nice people, very welcoming. He turned himself to a C-Bell fan. He was a true X fan until he retired, and he picked a new driver on Sunday, and he picked the right driver, I guess.
He picked Bell before the race.
And he picked Bell before the race, so he had a Bell hat on.
To pick a driver after they win.
He had a Bell hat on, and it was funny because me and Travis the whole race we were like, "Man, where the fuck is C-Bell at?"
He came out of nowhere.
Exactly the whole time. I mean, I'll save it for later, but the whole time it was funny because me and Travis we just kind of kept asking where C-Bell was. Then lo and behold, he wins the race, and Travis was like, "You know what's funny? The whole time we asked where C-Bell was, and then he goes and wins the race."
And we were shitting on Gibbs in general because, like, they were a non-factor.
I was shitting on Ty, but sorry, Team 54.
I mean, the 11 slowly worked their way up there, but
God, they were bad though.
Yeah, nothing to write home about.
I mean, none of the Gibbs cars were like up there like leading laps all day or anything. Like Briscoe was the only one all day really in contention, and then Denny ended up. I think Denny finished like fourth.
23-11 looked good though. I mean, Bubba was up there contesting.
I'm not sure right off the top of my head here.
Save this. We got trucks and Xfinity to go to.
Well, let's go to the trucks. Y'all were there. What do y'all got from the truck race? KSB. Travis,
damn
what number
good.
Is that? How many races? Which one?
Number 9 in Atlanta.
Hey, I
What?
missed the first half of it because I was meeting William Byron. I got that nice piece signed. So,
It
um,
was it
yeah,
was Kyle Busch's number 8th or 9th Atlanta win.
Yeah, but 200 what? 208, 208.
Oh,
more than
I don't
two oh
know.
eight.
I don't
So he
know how
got.
many he got.
I don't
I
know.
know he's got
Here, I'll look
100
it up.
something Xfinity.
300.
He's got 100 something Xfinity. I know that.
Might be 300.
But
600.
Kyle
I'm
Busch was
I'm
making
I'm looking it
some
up.
moves. He was making some moves on that truck race, and man, he looked good.
He did look good.
Spire looked good in
Two
general. McDowell ran terrible.
232.
232.
What's
Nice.
remember what was guy that used to tweet like Kyle Busch has now won whatever many races. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. Where's
And
that
all the
guy at
fucking
now?
yeah, Richard Petty fans got all fucking mad about it.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty much Kyle Busch show. Led 80
Mhm.
laps. Um, and the only other Connor Mozak, he was pretty good.
Tricon looked off. I mean, Corey ran into some trouble, got a tire down, hit the
Yep.
wall, and he got fucked. Tony, she started like 18th and fell a lap down like immediately after the drop the
I
flag. I
know
mean,
you had you. I'll tell you what she was doing. Dead ass, and I'm fucking because I've listened to her radio at fucking Daytona and Talladega when she used to drive ARCA before. I shit you not. I'll tell you what happened. She lifts. Like, because I remember listening to her at fucking Daytona and Talladega a couple years ago, and she's falling way behind the pack. And her spotter was like, "You need to stop lifting in the corner." And she said she's not. And he's like, "I know you're lifting." And they got in like a whole argument about it. The same thing happened here. She fell back and was way behind the pack, losing the draft. It's been an issue with her. She lifts when she gets in the draft.
Who you
yeah,
talking about?
Tony
Breidinger.
Bredinger.
Tony. Gotcha.
Yeah, because she ran into trouble early because she started 18th and fell a lap down. I mean, probably what they started lapping after stage one because they barely got saved after stage one.
Yeah. She
Stage
ended
two
up
they started
finishing
getting
at
lapped.
3 laps down.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to feel for Lane Riggs. I think he
Mhm.
finished like second or third in the stage one, and then they had some electrical issues, I believe it was. And I mean, he ended up losing a few laps. I think 2 or 3. Ended up getting all but one back, but ended up being 1 lap down, trapped a lap down. But they had a
Mozak
good
too.
piece.
Mozak when he got in trouble, hit the wall. That put him
Yeah,
down because him and Kyle would have had a good little battle. I feel like for the finish if he would have stayed in that race, and Heim too. Heim would have made it interesting.
yeah,
So there was a lot of factors that led to Kyle Busch dominating the rest of that race. Things like that, like like I said, Mozak getting in trouble, Heim getting in trouble in stage two.
hmm
Things like that led into Kyle Busch really dominating. But I mean, there was a couple times he got passed up, but he was just making moves that were ridiculous. I mean, he was squeezing through like barely any room. Um, Contested for the lead, he'd get past, and half a lap later, he was making the pass on either turn 2 or turn 4.
yep.
By the way, this is off topic. Off topic, but like the whole thing about Tony lifting made me think of something funny I heard last week that I wanted. So I'd never heard Junior's told so many stories about his dad and everything, but he had Cletus on last week, and I heard this story for the first time, and I thought it was funny. He said the first time he went testing at Talladega, like his dad told him, like, "All right, get a helmet, come to Talladega," and he said, "All right, got there, hold it wide open. If you lift the
Open
throttle,
it. Yeah.
you'll burn the piston up." Like Junior was scared to lift the whole time he was driving because he thought he was gonna burn the piston. He's like, if you lift throttle, you're gonna burn the piston up. I don't know. Like the Tony thing just made me think of that, but that was funny as shit. Like I was laughing hard when I heard that.
Yeah, it's good.
But
It's a good way to teach them.
did you watch the
Cause
race on
like,
TV, Derek?
Yes, I did. I did. I had to
How
work.
was it?
It was good. Good TV. I mean, obviously being a Kyle Busch fan, I was excited for that. Um, I
Hopefully, it's the
believe
start
I
of something that
had
could be good for the season. I mean, because he started the
yeah.
season the same way last year. He won in
Yep.
the 7 truck because he ran the Group 1001 truck and he won.
Yep. And I
But
mean, it was a pretty clean race. Only 4
mhm.
cautions. So I mean, pretty good truck race in my opinion. You had 19
what
lead changes. I thought it was a pretty good truck race in my opinion.
what happened with the big? Cause like, so funny. When I was out there meeting Byron, like I said, I missed like first half or so. Maybe I got back with like 50 to go, but it was right when the big wreck happened. Cause I was actually like up like it was like my turn in the thing, and like Byron was like signing my stuff, and like halfway through, he looked up at the TV and he was like, "Damn, Raja's in that." So I guess like obviously
he just
Raja
spun.
works with Hendrick stuff.
He was in the
Yeah,
lead. He was in the lead, or he was on the outside. He was in the front. and came off 4. And I guess where the temperature was dropping so much, they said that because I was listening to spotter radio whenever it happens, because I had your scanner. It was just pretty much they just think the tires just got way too cold and the track changed, and by the time he came off 4, he was too heavy on the gas and lost the back end and just spun, hit
And
a couple cars.
I guess Hemrick got in that one too because I saw he had a lot of damage. So
Yeah, it was
and
just
he
pretty much it was just temperature change is all it was. I mean, there was no
Yeah,
one bumped him,
Zwallows
no
I
one hit
think
him.
was in that as well.
Yep, no one hit him, no one bumped him. It was nothing.
That was really the biggest crash. I mean, I guess that was
Because
the
the
biggest
other ones were
crash.
just wall scrubs. He hit oil. Oh well, there
Hit
you go.
oil.
Roger said he hit oil. I didn't know that. Well, by the way, it looked for us. It was just because I remember I was watching it. He just came off 4 and just. I mean, that truck was like this, and then just lost the back end. But
I gotta ask.
Hemrick actually coming back a little bit. I mean, even with that front bumper damage, I mean, it didn't really matter because he contested a couple times for the
He
lead
came back
until.
up. He came back up and took the lead.
Yep,
Late.
he
Finished
lost the draft
16th.
though. He lost the draft though, and he got really fucked.
Yeah,
And
they shucked him out because
yeah,
obviously with the damage he was like
he
slow in
was
the
too slow.
lineups. Like he got up and took the lead and they pushed him out and then
Yeah,
shucked him out.
he
Like,
still looked good though. I mean, Sawallich, it was pretty much game over for him. I didn't really see much of him back, but I mean, Hemrick impressed me with the way he had damage and still managed to work his way through the pack and get back up there for the time he did. I mean, I'm not a big Hemrick guy, but I can give credit where credit's due.
I gotta ask by the way, um did you guys hear Friesen's comments after the race? Him throwing a fucking mind you, like dude's like 40 years old and he was throwing a fucking hissy fit because Tyler Ankrum didn't push him to the win. And it was like and Ankrum said he was like, it hurts me a lot more to push like playoff wise to push him to a win than it does to push Kyle Busch to a win. So I pushed Kyle Busch. And Friesen just like was throwing a fucking fit about it and was like, I for whatever reason felt like he was entitled to be pushed by Ankrum.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think that if Friesen doesn't need to be in the playoffs. To be fair, I mean, there's been so many times last season he almost won a race, but he never did. It's just kind of a waste. It's like having Cindric in the playoffs. It's kind of a wasted spot last season.
As Team 54 mentions here, I remember when they had that stretch of speedy
That
driving from
was
the front
yes,
stretch and
because
the back
they were
stretch.
blowing the kitty litter all in the driver's trucks.
Yes.
And Kyle's on the radio. He was like, "Man, this is why I don't have a fucking cat."
So yes, Team 54. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. That's
I forgot about that, so that is true.
Yep.
Mm.
That was looked like with
Shut-
Sandlot when the vacuum cleaner explodes.
It was crazy though.
Shout out Team 54 by the way. For y'all probably wouldn't expect to hear me say that, but for as much as I don't like Ty Gibbs, one of the coolest dudes on Twitter.
Yeah, he's a great
Good dude.
follow, especially if you like Ty Gibbs. If you're into what they're doing, he's up to date on all their stuff. Live tweeting during the race.
I do
He
like
was
that
really
new
shout
car
out to
he
him.
has. I like that Sala car or Sala, however you pronounce it. I really do like it. It's basic and it's a nice car. So,
Saya.
This-
I don't know.
He was
They're
really
like
happy.
a delivery service.
mhm.
He was really happy about the Luca trade, by the way. He'll come in here and tell you about that. He was super happy to see that.
I don't hate Ty. There's just one guy that's in our friend group, and I like to make fun of Ty because of him, because he gives me shit for being a Barry fan. So,
I like Ty.
I have Ty merch. I have I have Ty hats, plural, should I say?
Yeah.
But I don't mind
Hey,
Ty.
fucking
I just like to give shit.
Charlie, by the way, another one of my buddies. So he was a Truex fan too, looking for a new driver, and then he was um, like had his Gibbs hat on Sunday, and like bought a Bell hat, and I was so naturally like Ty Gibbs is always his second favorite. So I'm like, your favorite retires, your second favorite's gonna become your favorite, right? And he's like, no, he's my second favorite. I need to pick a favorite. And I was like, so he's not your favorite now? He's like, no, he's my second favorite.
He'll always
So
be
he's
my second favorite.
all time second. Like that was so funny to me. And after the race, he's like, got his fucking Bell hat on, and he's like, hell yeah! And I was like, so that's your guy now? He's like, yep, Ty's my second favorite. He was making me laugh with that because I'm just like, okay, he's your second favorite. You figured he would move up. He's like, nope, he's my second favorite.
Yeah, that's funny. Anything else, trucks, before we move on?
Nah, that was just an awesome move by Kyle. I mean, what did he say in the interview after? He's like, I schooled these kids or something like that. Like,
Hey Travis, catch this though. I'm glad I didn't buy it because my girlfriend got this for me for my birthday.
Oh,
Okay,
I got
you
the
were
Roger.
fucking
talking about
Priest
that shit,
Kroger
dude.
hat. I've been wanting this hat since it fucking dropped, and I kept talking myself out of it. And I was gonna buy it in Ohana whenever we were waiting, because we were about to leave, and I walked up to the SHR hauler to buy it, and I stood there for like a minute just staring at it, and I was like,
Oh, I already know Bailey's probably
yeah.
when we were walking back to the car. He's probably like, "Damn, I really want this
No,
Kroger
no, I
hat. I
didn't.
wish I got this
I've shown
Kroger
her.
hat."
I've shown her a couple times. I'm like, I'll ask, because before I buy some, I'll be like, should I buy it? And she'll end up telling me yes or no, because I need to know if I should or not, because I'm fucking stupid with money. And she was
Hey,
like, no, 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 no. And then she had a box yesterday with my gift, and it said RFK Racing on it. I said, I know exactly what this is. And I was like,
hey,
I know
Sure
exactly.
enough.
while we're on the topic of merch, by the way, I don't. So I was talking to Bailey and Cooper about this a little bit earlier. Have you guys seen home field apparel? Like I got a bunch of college football stuff from. They got like every college, and they did a Hendrick collection and like a IMS collection last year, and they dropped some new stuff in their Hendrick collection today. Like I got a Jeff Gordon Pepsi shirt they put out today, but they're
Mhm.
dropping a Dale collection tomorrow
I
at
saw
10
that.
a.m.
You
Eastern
sent me the
time.
thing. Yeah, the
Dude,
hat
some
is
of that
fresh.
shit.
Nice.
The hat
The
is
hat is
sick.
fucking. The jacket too, like fucking.
Yeah,
Dude,
the hat though is sick.
they might be taking some of my coins tomorrow when that shit comes out. I might have to take a
Coins?
look. Like
Coins?
I
Keeps him
got
in a
last,
coin purse too.
Motherfucker said he's going to be taking some of his coins.
I got this last year from them when they put out the Hendrick collection last year. This Tim Richmond, this Folgers one.
I got the new Arrow one.
But oh
Saw
yeah,
that.
I've seen that one. But
Mhm.
yeah, home field they got good stuff. So yeah, if that Dale stuff right here, number 3, that Dale stuff that comes out tomorrow, it's gonna be. I guess they still can't get a trademark or whatever because it's funny they're just advertising it as the number 3 collection.
Interesting.
Fucking Teresa.
Yeah,
No, she doesn't
Hey,
own it anymore. I don't think.
well, she doesn't own the 8, but I think she still has the
Still the
probably
Dale
rights to.
Earnhardt.
Yeah,
She
she
still has
probably
3.
still has.
I
I think
thought that
she's.
was always. Well, I guess I don't know.
The 8 font was
Well,
let go.
I thought RCR had some of it too. I
no,
don't know.
RCR has the 3, but Teresa has the rights to like the Earnhardt
Uh-huh.
name. So
Gotcha.
that's why when you find like Dale merch now, you notice it's always
Dale
like
Jr.
3 and it's got the car, but it never says like Dale on it.
Well, it says Dale Jr. Not Dale
Well, I'm talking
Earnhardt
about
Jr.
Earnhardt, like like Earnhardt number 3 gear, like when
Oh,
NASCAR, like you know how
gotcha.
NASCAR is like the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
classic,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
It's always just 3 Good Wrench RCR, but it never actually says
Or
Dale
they'll
on it.
have, or it'll just say the Black
Interesting.
Knight. It'll say the Black
Okay.
Knight on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't realize that. That's a good
yeah,
point.
because she still has the like rights to all the like the actual like Earnhardt,
Name.
like yeah.
Got it.
What?
Well,
Xfinity.
anything? Yeah, Xfinity, the Austin Hill ass whipping.
I mean, a couple people got caught up early.
146 and 163. So
Couple people got caught up early. Had a couple fucky wuckies. Dean Thompson, like lap 2, scrubbed the wall. Went
yep.
3 laps down immediately. That was pretty bad. I mean, he had a fast little car. I felt bad. I don't mind Dean. I've raced against him in iRacing, and he absolutely smoked my shit.
Nice.
But he can wheel the shit out of a car. I'll say that. But he got down early, and besides that, I mean, it was just a matter of staying in the draft, getting knocked out. Austin Hill just blocking the lines, blocking lanes. Jesse got caught up in something, didn't he? Or did he just fall way back? Because I mean, he rode back at the pack after.
Yeah, he
I
just
think
fell
after
back.
stage
I
1.
don't think he got caught up anything. He
Yeah.
just fell back. He finished 16th.
Because he
But
rode back
he
there for
he
a
led
while.
13 laps there, so he was right up front.
It was in stage 1 because RCR started 1 and 2. He led some laps stage 1, but besides that, I mean, he fell back. Xfinity, I don't really remember much because I was just sitting there. I was just fucking tired, and I was low key nodding
Yeah, I
nodding
mean,
off.
it was a lot of just the Austin Hill
Mhm.
show, a lot of just
Like
riding
if you're an
around.
Austin Hill fan, good on you. Like I said,
It was a great race. It's a
I
fantastic
can
race.
appreciate a good ass kicking, but like that right there to me, I don't want to watch it.
No,
Well,
again,
I
I'm right
thought
there
it.
with you. I can appreciate a good ass kicking, but not the best super speedway race in my opinion.
No, God no.
I thought the actual racing was still good. It's just like one guy dominating, but like, I didn't think it was like a bad race. Like it wasn't just like a train the whole. Like
Well, I
people were
feel like
still
it was
making
better
moves.
than last year. Last year, I felt like that was the case. It was a lot of train racing up top.
Yeah, remember last year's when they all ran out of fuel, and remember like
Yeah,
that race was
yes.
awful, and then they
It
all ran
wasn't
out of
good,
fuel.
and then
Like,
it got really good at the end because they ran out of fuel. but it wasn't a good race. I feel like yes, this was at least a decent race, even though one guy
Yeah, and a
kicked
couple
everybody's
players got
ass.
caught up too. Zilich got caught up in an accident. There was a
Yeah,
wreck that involved like
silly,
what 4
silly.
cars. Zilich got caught up, had a bunch of damage, and then left some debris on track because they shittily taped it back on there, and pretty much everything fell off as soon as he got back on track.
And you
I
were,
can't think of what caused that caution, but
yeah, I can't remember how it started, but I do remember Zilich getting caught up because he was having a good race before that.
hmm I can't think of who else was in it, but I just know that that was a big player because everyone was like, "Well, shit," because I think Quapple got caught up in it too. Because there was 2 JRM cars. I know Sammy Smith at the end of the race was running up front because he was kind of top 3 contestant.
This,
I'd love to know
this
craft. Let me
what,
see.
so yeah, I agree with this sentiment, and it's like I told me and you were talking about it during the race. It's like it's not just the raw speed that Austin Hill has at these places and Jesse Love, but it's like those cars, and you can watch it. Like especially they handle so much better than everybody else's
Well,
cars. It's
and
like
and Austin
they.
Hill has more downforce because his fat fuck ass is sitting in it. So the car has more downforce going in the corner. I mean, you got a 350-pound man wheeling a car. I mean, shit. Of course, that car ain't gonna move when it goes to a corner.
But it's like, especially at Atlanta, it's like everybody else is having handling issues. Like, and like Austin Hill was just, he's so solid. And like I said, he made those 2 passes on Jesse Love where he didn't even have to use the draft. Like, he just went around. And like, you never see people do that on it. Besides Dale Jr. in July of '01, like, you never see people make those moves at super speedways and just pass somebody without the draft.
And
Yeah,
Kyle was doing it too.
yeah. The
Kyle
truck
Busch
race.
was doing it
Like,
during the truck race because he was doing the same shit though. I don't know. It's just something about RCR super speedway setups. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy to see how good your Xfinity program could be, but you still lack in Cup Series. I get they're
The
two
cars
different
are so
cars.
different, so
Yeah,
different,
I know, but still, it's just it's.
such a different platform.
hmm
I mean, the
Also
RCR
know
or
about the
the
Taco Bell
Xfinity cars.
Ballast.
Our Xfinity cars have been around forever.
That is true.
But shout out to your boy. A little couple of shout outs here. Honorable mentions. Your boy Eric Almirola, Double A, top
God,
3.
it hurt. It hurt, man. God, we could have won that. I mean, but
Good
Austin is
run.
doing such a good job blocking the lanes, and I was standing up, man. I mean, both days, Saturday and Sunday. I mean, both
Yeah,
those races, my guys ran up front,
they did.
and
Side to side.
it felt good to watch because I can tell. I like the fact that you have. I mean, even Christopher Bell. I don't know if you watched the post race interview. I mean, he was thanking Eric for what he does for JGR. You know, just helping out the team and just running those races at 19, just like last year. Run a couple races, winning really helps out that team understand more about their cars, what they
Yeah.
can do,
Yeah,
and
when you got a
I
top
love it.
caliber guy like that in there.
I love it. And people can shit on Eric all they want for his Cup career because I get it. It wasn't the best career you want to have. I mean, we got what 3 wins. Uh, but I mean, at the same time, when you got a veteran like that in your team just coming in to log laps and do races, and then he ends up winning, I mean, that's just great to me, and it's good to see that, he's getting a shot, even though with his age and with him not really wanting to race, he's still going out there and having fun and enjoying life, and
Yep.
that's what makes it good to me. That's why I like supporting him. I'm just like a guy who goes out there and wheels the shit out of a car and helps out a team.
Yep. So shout out Eric and go ahead, Travis.
I was saying Bailey, we was talking about incidents and stuff, so I'll let you. But you remember so that incident at the start of the race, Kyle C got damaged and Dean Thompson got damaged. So we had a whole pool like with our whole group at the race where like everybody put $10 in, and like whoever hate to brag, but I had Austin Hill in the pool, so I took it home. But they let me get Austin Hill at the third pick, by the way, which was insane. But so I took that money home. But anyway, like with the pool, so winner got most of the money, but if your driver you pick finishing last place, you get your money back. That was like the catch to it. And Dean Thompson and Kyle Sieg both got damage on like lap
mm.
2. And
hmm
Cooper had Dean Thompson and I had Kyle Sieg. So me and him were like in a race for last place the whole time. We're like every time we saw our guy come down pit road, we are like, yeah, like fucking, like we were just like in a complete like race to the bottom with Dean Thompson and Kyle Sieg, which I'm pretty sure neither of them ended up finishing last, but
No,
it seemed for most of the race like they were going to. But that
I
was just funny. I felt like I had to mention that.
I had some good picks on that though. They gave me. I got Allgaier, I got Eric, I got Matty D, and someone else. But I had some pretty solid picks. I thought I had a good chance of winning. But when Travis took Austin with the third pick, 'cause I was second to last. I think on Xfinity I kind of got fucked and I got short in the stick. But they left me some good choices open. Uh,
Oh,
but that
my
was
team
pretty
was
enjoyable.
My team was terrible, other than Austin Hill. But that was because
Well, because at
I
that
had
point you didn't
Austin.
need anything else.
I had Austin Hill, and then I had Brandon Jones. I picked Carson Ware because I was like, he's got to be a solid bet for last place, Carson Ware. So I picked Carson Ware and fucking Kyle Sieg. It's like my team was, other than Austin Hill,
Damn
was
you, Dick.
terrible, but all that
Sorry, bro.
mattered in that was winning.
But
Yes. All
Xfinity
right.
solid. Besides the fact it was the Austin Hill show, but
Yeah, I just want to also shout out Justin Allgaier. That was a solid run,
mhm.
finishing P2 after
I liked
wheeling the
Ross. And
40
I
machine.
like Ross in the pit box with him too because they were running the Protect Your Melon car. Ross also running the 9 this weekend. Don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that's pretty cool. He's running the 9 for Junior Motorsports.
Hey,
Hell
don't
yeah.
forget Ryan Sieg was up there in the mix again too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of these days it's gonna happen for him, man.
I hope so,
One of
man.
these days.
I mean, even I won't. I don't want to end it on that, but Haas looked good. Haas looked good till Sam Mayer got caught up in that big wreck. Uh, bend his shit. He got pushed a little too hard. Bend his shit right there off too. Um, I know I said it last week, but I just think Sheldon Creed's getting on the right path. Um, you can tell he's maturing a little bit. I don't want to say I don't be that guy that saying Sheldon Creed's gonna win. Sheldon Creed's gonna win. But I mean, I feel like this is the season he can actually get one. You can tell he's a lot more calm with his driving, and I
I
love.
don't think I
I
don't
was
think
even
he was
telling.
ever I don't think
Eh.
he was ever bad. He just didn't win. Like,
No, he was because he would go into lanes where he on super speedways where he had no one following him. He would take the undesired path throughout a track. I mean, he would go way too high or way too low and get loose. He'd gas it way too heavy in the corner. I mean, we saw this at JGR last year. He was gassing way too heavy. He'd get so fucking loose, push someone up the track, contesting for the lead. And I mean, we just haven't seen that. I mean, he's
I mean,
working well.
he would have made the championship four if his own teammate didn't throw a fucking hissy fit on him
Hey, that made
in
Allgaier, and
Martinsville a
so
couple years ago.
um, but I mean, it's I love the way him and Sam Mayer are working together. I feel like those can be really two dangerous teammates together, kind of like how Austin Hill and Jesse Love are right now. So I feel like those could be the next two because those Haas has some serious speed in their Xfinity team still. I can tell
Well,
nothing's really went away on that, but
I've had my eye on Mayer so far this year, especially because, like, I feel like because of the rebranding of Haas, people are kind of like sleeping on him. But, like,
hmm
remember, like, that 98 car was on a fucking rail at the end of last year, and that
it was.
41 that Mayer's in is the old 98 team.
hmm It was.
So, like, there's,
I don't have the same ties to Haas like I used to, so I'm not going to sit there and show up to a Xfinity race and cheer on Haas at all. I don't think, but I mean, I used to hate Sam Mayer when he was at JRM. I didn't like him in that one. I didn't. Now he's at the 41. I don't know. It's just something. I like seeing drivers in a Ford. I'll say that because Ford is they're just a sleeper team in general. I feel like. I mean, there's barely any Ford Xfinity cars. I mean, it's dominated by Chevy and Toyota. Uh, Same thing for trucks and even Cup Series. I guess you could say. I mean, we're one of the lowest teams. We have no development drivers, like barely any. I mean, compared to Toyota, who has damn 3/4 of the NASCAR world as a development driver for them.
I mean, I was
Uh,
about to say it's kind of self-inflicted that they've just like ruined their whole fucking driver development program, and then one of the most promising young talents they had was Chase Briscoe, and they just let him walk right out the fucking door. So,
yep, this is what Toyota does. They throw buku's amount of money at you, and I think with Dodge possibly entering next year the trucks, I mean that's just gonna entice what teams like Penske to go back to Dodge. Um, I mean, then Ford's just gonna go down the shitter pretty much because we're gonna have nothing. So I just I don't know, but fucking Roush is back, baby.
Well, all right. Anything else to Xfinity before we get into Cup?
I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed, but I think we about covered it all. Oh, the caution. Are we just gonna wait till after cut to do the caution thing as a whole, or
Well, no, we can do it because it changed overnight from Xfinity after
yeah?
the Xfinity race.
And that's the main thing is like I wish NASCAR would just let him fucking like run to the checkered flag, but like for people who are mad, like, oh, it's inconsistent. Like, I get it, but NASCAR also came out as soon as the Xfinity
God,
race
pause.
ended. It was like,
Oh god, it's so fucking sexy. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
I'm so
Yeah.
ready to see it on track this weekend, dude. Is it? Wait, is SVG running the Red Bull too, or is it just Illich?
I think it was just Illich.
No, I believe SCG is as well.
I know they
It-
announced 5 races. They announced 5 races of Red Bull. As a primary sponsor, but I didn't know if SVG because I just been seeing Zillich. I guess they're making a big deal because it's
His
wait
first
no
full start.
no SVG's running WeatherTech.
Ah.
They just announced it, so
ah.
still love that car. It's fucking
But
sexy. But sorry, go ahead, Travis.
I was just saying, everybody's because like Saturday, people are so it fucking wasn't a caution Saturday. It's a fucking not. NASCAR came out as soon as that race ended Saturday and was like, "Hey, we fucked up."
Well,
Like
basically,
that.
they said we're changing how we do things. Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
fucking up.
Yeah.
They acknowledged basically that they had been fucking up all last week at Daytona, and they came out and it said we're changing how we do things. So
For what
if
it's
you had a
worth, I
problem
don't think they
after,
were fucking up, but the drivers
well,
bitched
they,
enough about it that
I mean, you got guys running through there. Like I said, I understand if a wreck happens in the front of the field and you got the entire rest of the field just zooming through there at full speed. I don't think we can have that. That's definitely a safety hazard at that
well,
point.
this is my so like I heard Kyle Petty say this on the radio the other night. What the hell's Kyle Petty got to do with this? Or like, but I heard Kyle Petty say this on the radio the other night, and this is like probably like it's pretty a simple point that like I don't know why I hadn't thought of this specifically before that, but it made sense to me. Is like Kyle's like whether wherever the wreck happens in the field, he's like whether you throw the caution or not, if you leave it green, the driver in 30th isn't just gonna fucking ram through everybody trying to win the fucking race. Like they're still gonna try to avoid the wreck. So like either way, whether it's yellow or not, they're gonna try to avoid the fucking wreck.
I mean,
So
I don't know. I think that's a stupid take. Kyle Petty's been out of the sport for too long.
I don't
He
trust
needs
his
to stick
ponytail.
stick to riding motorcycles there, bud.
Yeah, I don't trust his
I mean, I
ponytail.
said I think you just need to. I said I think this is eliminates all of it. This sucks that we're they're gonna throw the caution more at the end of these races, but I'm fine with it that they've announced this and this is what the standard is going forward. I think the problem everybody's had is definitely the inconsistency of it. Of like you go back to Thursdays at Daytona, and it was a caution when they're 100 feet from the start finish line, and then Sunday they wreck going into turn 3 and they don't throw the yellow. So and then Saturday they do the same thing. They wait to throw the yellow or they don't throw the yellow. But then they realize they messed up. So I don't know. I think at that point it's fine. I mean,
There's
I
no
know
winning. There's no winning in the situation, though, is how I see it.
exactly. I think you err on the side
There's
of safety,
there's no way to
and
win it.
you just eat your losses at that point. I mean, I know Kevin Harvick was seething. I think after the end of the Daytona 500, after they didn't throw the caution when he left the booth, apparently. So I get it. I mean, it sucks. We're not going to see these green flag finishes probably as much, but I mean, hey,
I just want
we're going to go to CoTA this week, and it's going to be a non-story, hopefully.
I just want to
Oh
point
no,
out
it'll be a
that
story because it's a fucking road course.
Well, there'll be
Can't wait for
another
Mexico.
story.
Can't wait
There'll
for
be
Mexico.
another story.
I just want to point out that Denny Hamlin, who's been like one of the most vocal people about this and like how like applauding NASCAR on Sunday, like I just want to point out that his third Daytona 500, if NASCAR threw the caution immediately when Ryan Newman almost wrecked to his death, if NASCAR threw that caution immediately, Denny Hamlin doesn't win that race. But he had no problem with the call then because he won Daytona 500. But
That's what I'm
so
saying.
that's
It
just
only benefits you when you're in the good. It only
yeah.
benefit you. Then
I'll
you're gonna
never.
bitch about it.
Hey,
Okay, I
I'm
think
Denny.
this is just finally clears up the air on it. It's like, look, we're erring on the side of caution now. So
It was
I
just funny
mean,
because, like, I guess he said on the podcast this week, like, I've always felt this way that it should be a yellow as soon as, and he said he's always felt this way. I'm like, bro, you literally won the Daytona 500, and a dude almost died, and they didn't throw the caution, and you weren't complaining about not throwing a caution then because you fucking got the money and the trophy. So
yep.
I mean, yeah, the guy literally wrecks in the tryover. I don't know how you throw a caution.
they did it at the duel.
I mean, I get it. That's why the criticism is here.
But his whole quote, he said they should throw it as soon as there's a
But I
wreck.
think NASCAR
He
has
said that.
already said that they screwed up on Thursday and got it wrong on Thursday. So
But you're right. Yeah, it's the consistency.
Exactly.
That's
The
it.
inconsistency is the problem. Make a policy
Yeah.
and stick with it. I think that's what they've done at this point. They've drawn a line in the sand, said enough is enough, and I'm fine with that going forward as long as we know
I
that
I
that's the
just wish they
standard.
would have drew the line in the sand after Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely. I mean, that's a good transition because it definitely robbed us of a hell of a finish. And I
It was
mean, it
going to
was
be a
still a great
replay
finish.
last year. It was set and
Yeah,
done.
I mean, granted, it was still exciting as shit. Those few moments of not knowing were tense. Like, damn, who actually got it? And was it Carson Hostevar? That was wild. That would have been crazy story, crazy upset. Um, but Christopher Bell ends up prevailing and squeaks out a win.
Man, that
Yeah,
race, it had me on the edge of my feet. Travis even gave me his radio at the very end. I don't know. There's not many races that I've been to go watch my driver lead. I mean, I've been to a couple Harvicks. Almost experienced him winning Darlington before Ryan Newman absolutely fucked that up. Talladega and Blaney stole it. A couple more on TV. But I mean, Josh, the only chance I really had to watch him do well was probably
Xfinity.
Daytona. No, it was
Or
Daytona. It was
Xfinity,
it was
yeah.
it was it was Daytona or Xfinity. It was in the Euro car when he got absolutely fucked. If you guys remember that wreck, 'cause when he was leading, he got bumped by Cindric and went flying in the damn wall.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was that one. That was the only time. But I mean, for me, it was I really enjoyed that race because I enjoy getting to focus on something, not watch my driver be a fucking back marker and
Yeah,
just
Kyle got
chill in the
shucked
back.
out and Barry was leading. I just took my radio off and was like, "Here, you want to listen to Barry?" like,
hmm And I mean, but I'm not gonna take up too much time, but it was great for me. I really enjoyed watching that, and I feel like we're watching Wood Brothers get back to where they were, kind of with like how they were with Blaney. I can see more funding coming into the team, more help. Uh, we look good. We look good. So I'm excited for what the season might have for us. I don't want to say we're gonna win one, but I can see us acquiring a lot of points. We got a little fuck because shout out Denny Hamlin. Uh, Spun us out in the last lap right there off turn two. Got in the back stretch and boom, here we are on the wall. Could have at least had a top five finish. I mean, after
well,
winning the stage, I mean that's
it,
enough for me. But
and that's what's kind of sucks is like we're mentioning for Barry is that they've run very well in the first two races, but they're still like they got nothing to show for it. They're sitting 30th in points right now, so it does suck from that
yep,
aspect. That as well as they run, they don't really have anything to show for it, and they could be sitting in a good position right now if you change a couple things.
we've had a fast car. We did in the duels. We did in the heat races for Daytona. We had a really good car. I mean, we ran up front in the heat, and then we got caught up in the accident on the 500 that Zane Smith had and threw us in the wall, and then run a super well race, win a stage, almost win stage two, and then stage three we just get fucked. And
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that this weekend though that win last year at Daytona definitely gave that team some momentum and
mhm.
probably some funding that really helped them out and put them in the right direction. So shout out Harrison Burton for getting that
Fuck
win.
that win at Daytona. Fuck Harrison Burton. Get the fuck
Me
out
and
of
me and
here.
Cooper were talking about it though. It's scary for the Woodbros though, because I mean, like, what
Fucking
if
say that shit.
what if Josh stays there, and then what if Dodge comes back, and what if Penske takes Dodge back, and what does the Woodbros have? We have nothing anymore. I mean, we don't have our
Wouldn't they go to?
Wood Brothers will never leave Ford. They have never left
Derek,
Ford. They
Let's
have
see.
Derek,
never
how
left
si-
Ford.
Derek, how sincere was that, and how much of that was just trolling me?
That was troll for both of y'all. That was 1,000% troll.
I mean,
I
it's
was
just
like,
it's one of those things that, like, what is even if that does happen, what does Wood Brothers have? Like, why should they stay around? I mean, because at that point they have nothing. I mean, they're a small team with not a big shop in the middle of nowhere near no other team. I mean, their car is built in Penske's,
remember, remember
but
before they got with Penske when you could you could buy the little Debbie box and they would have the Bill Elliott like little Debbie car in the box.
that's
You
how we're
remember
gonna get
those
our
days?
funding. That's how
I
we're
know
gonna get
you
our funding.
remember, Derek.
Huh?
The little Debbie days for Wood Brothers when you could buy like the box of little Debbies and they would have the
Oh,
car in it.
absolutely.
Bill
Hell yeah.
Elliott, the oatmeal cream pie car.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
I do agree. I do. I don't. I see. I definitely truck because I know they said they want to at least be in truck by 2026. So, well, next year at least. But then there was apparently rumors that they're aiming for Cup in 2028. So I mean, we still got years for that, but it's just one of those things. I mean, it's could be coming. And then apparently, I don't know if you guys saw the news where Brad's been pushing hard for Honda to come into the sport. Brad Keselowski, that is. He's been really wanting Honda in the sport because I saw something. I don't know if you guys follow that NASCAR Rumor Nostalgia page on Instagram, but he's apparently really wanting them in. But I mean, he won't go to Honda. He won't leave Ford because I don't think Roush has the capability to leave Ford.
I
So,
give a prediction though. If Dodge does come to Cup, the team, it's going to be Trackhouse.
because yeah, they
They
are the most different. They are the most different.
they like to be bold and make moves, and like they're trying to like really establish, like that would be the move right there.
Hell yeah! All right. Anything else from Sunday's Cup? What else y'all
Oh
got?
yeah, we barely even talked about the race so far. So yeah, we
Let's
do need
get
to get
into
into
it.
that. Yeah. I don't know. One thing we're gonna skip around here a little bit because we got to talk about Hocevar. But man, I'd say I gotta get this off my chest because I was thinking and driving it home on Sunday and who we had to blame for fucking ruining that finish. I've always liked Kyle Larson, but he's about starting to get on my last fucking nerve where I can't like. How many like I just don't know how many more times he can make like a dumb ass fucking move and just be like, well, that's just Kyle Larson. That's just how he does it.
He
Because
did
I mean that
apologize
was
for it. I don't know if you listened to Corey LaJoy's podcast, but he was on
uh,
that episode and he did apologize. He was like, "Man, I don't even." He's like, "I didn't even mean to." And I
You
mean,
just
I
said
can
last
respect,
week, Travis, you want your drivers going for it, making those big moves.
but
but
he did it with 20
make
to
a big.
go.
It wasn't the last like it that
Yeah,
like he had Byron, his teammate, behind him, pushing
yeah.
him, ready to give him a fucking run, and then he kamikazes his way up the track in a Cindric and like takes his teammate out in the process. But like him and Byron were about to link up and take the lead. Like I don't know why. Like it wasn't like if that was like a desperation last lap move, okay. But when it's like three to go and you have your teammate behind you pushing you, it was like nonsensical. I think he just like
It wasn't
I
even
think
3 to go.
I think he's like Ross, where Ross, like you remember where he was like, I don't know, I just black out, I don't even know what happened. Like I think that happens to Larson because he'll just make some moves sometimes where I'm like, what? Like where are you fucking going, dude? Like he had Byron lined up to push him, was going to get a run, take the lead, and he's just like cuts across the Denny Hamlin meme from a couple years ago. He basically did that again.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. I do like the fact that Larson did apologize for it. He probably should have after the race. He shouldn't have waited to go on fucking stacking pennies to go apologize for it. But
Well, to
it was pretty
Larson's credit,
boneheadish
he
move.
always apologizes. He's not a guy. He's like he always apologizes, but it's just
I
like,
think people give him the
uh,
benefit of the doubt. For one, he's in a Hendrick car, and for two, he's probably one of the best drivers of our generation.
no doubt, no doubt. I'm not denying
So
his talent. It's just like
people are just gonna be like, oh well, he just caused this accident, but he's still one of the best drivers. You know, it's kind of like
it's like
Derek. Whenever you watch Max crash someone, I mean, they make a big ass fuss about it. It's just because people hate him because how good he is. But with NASCAR, I guess, where it's a sport that's diversified by their wins and how different drivers, we don't really see that one driver dominate week in week out like we do in F1. So I feel like people will give him the benefit of the doubt because they're not tired of seeing someone win all the time. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I'm,
Because we don't
I
have the
mean,
same winner every week.
I'm not sitting here saying like Kyle Larson sucks or something. It's just like
Hmm.
I'm like because that finish was setting up so well, and I feel like that finish like it was still good, but I feel like it wasn't as good as it would have been if that race kind of just played
Sure.
out, which it probably would have if Larson didn't make that fucking boneheaded move.
Yeah, because you had all of Penske up front almost. I mean, Joey was the only one that was back. Joey and Blaney. I mean, they were riding back there, but Barry's right there. Cindric was right there. Pretty sure Bubba was up there. Reddick,
It was
and
setting
then
up to be a good battle with like the Penske
you had a
cars and the
lot
Hendrick.
of big names up there. You had a lot of big
It
names
was
up there.
it was setting up to be a good battle with like the Penske cars and the Hendrick cars because like Byron and Larson were linked up down there. Hey, I dragged Denny too, so just know I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it even. I'm dragging Kyle for this one, so I'm calling it down the middle at least.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he got loose or whatever, and or
I don't
just
even know
didn't
what the
realize
fuck
some.
happened.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like you said, he does make some silly moves. You go back to Indianapolis a few years ago when he crashed into what was it, Ty Dillon or somebody, Cody
Homestead
Ware.
when he fucking plowed into the barrels.
That too. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, granted, I said we saw like Raja obviously there was oil or whatever on the track, but we did see like that getting tied up off the corner all weekend. So I don't know if they had some of that going on or whatever, but definitely caused the wreck, took out his teammate and Cindric in the process. Um,
Uh,
and then I
Penske
guess
looked
we
good
can
still.
get into Kamikaze Carson.
Oh my
But
god.
I mean, I don't even think it's. So my buddy, actually, I've been getting a lot of my friends into NASCAR. Funny enough, because they see me, I'll stream my racing, like my iRacing, and they'll watch me, and they've been really interested. So a lot of them have actually bought a wheel. So they've been, I've been teaching them kind of how to race a little bit, and get their feet wet. But one of my
I'm
buddies,
a racer. Come play my
he
Xbox. I'm a racer.
he picked he picked Carson as his driver. He was like, I like this young guy. And I was like, because it was after the 500, and he wanted to find. Like I told him, I was like, find a driver, and I told him a couple names. I was like, Josh is always there, 'cause Tennessee. I was like, why would you not? But he was like, man, I like Carson. I was like, that's a fair pick. He's a young guy. He's good. I mean, could have won the championship in Phoenix 2 years ago, but got dicked out of that. But I was
Well, he
kind
dicked
of.
himself
He was
out of
asking me.
that.
No. Anyways, that's the story for another
I mean,
day.
he wrecked fucking Heim and then like lost his fucking mind, like because.
Well, Heim lost his mind, then just chased his ass down the track and just put him in the wall like fucking Matt
But you
Kenseth did
remember
to
that
Joey Logano.
restart after that where Carson lost like 20 spots on the restart because he was just in his own fucking head after he did that. Like,
Well, he felt bad. All he
well,
did, he on the radio, all he did was apologize. All he kept saying was, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm stupid." And like
I
he
mean, he
actually,
did it on
he actually did
purpose and
feel
then
bad, but
felt
yeah,
bad about it after the fact. That's the way I saw when
yeah,
that
but
happened. Like,
it was two wrongs don't make it right.
but
But anyways, my
yeah,
buddy's asking about like what happened and why people were mad at Carson. I'm like, they shouldn't
Because
be.
he's the new kid
I
on the
don't.
block.
They shouldn't be mad
I
at. I
mean,
mean,
we've
because he's an idiot.
they all race the same way when there's 2 laps to go. If you got a guy doing it the whole race, it doesn't matter because you guys still do the same exact fucking thing when it comes to you having the chance of winning. He is desperate to get up to the front. He's desperate to lead laps. Spire is on the come up. They can win a race. They can. They have the speed, and Carson definitely will win a race within this season or next. I mean, yeah, I'll say it. They have the speed. I mean, they can do it, and he's making moves that need to be made to get to the front. Yeah, it might not be the best on some drivers. They might not like it, but I mean, what are you gonna do? He's gonna sit and poke around all day? I mean, he's done that. He did that last year. He sat
I
and poked
mean,
around.
I've been around here long enough and seen this long enough to know how this goes. You
Rick
ruffle
Hendrick's
some
gonna fucking
feathers.
give him the
Well, not necessarily because he drives for
ultimatum.
Rick Hendrick.
I know, but
He
he's gonna
drives
give him
for
an
Rick.
ultimatum just like they did with Ross Chastain.
Well, Ross Chastain doesn't drive for Rick Hendrick. He tears up Rick Hendrick cars.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
anyways,
Yeah,
I mean, you go back to when Brad Keselowski forced it 3 wide on Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Gordon was pissed and said, "I don't know how this guy has ever won a championship or whatever. Never will win a championship." And whatever. Sure enough, he's now a team owner. So it's Joey Logano, same thing. He was ruffling feathers when he was a young kid. Him and Harvick, they had a feud. So you these new kids on the
Dale
block.
Earnhardt, like,
Dale Earnhardt. Well, yeah, he was
like,
kind of the old guy ruffling the young kids' feathers. He was kind of the Kyle Busch esque, not putting up with the young kid shit, just like
but
Kyle Busch did this for the weekend. But
here's
Carson
the
will learn. I mean, it's his rookie year. He did this in the Truck Series, and I mean, these Cup Series drivers ain't gonna put up with it long enough.
here's the problem with Carson. It's the same thing people said about Ross, and I've said it about other guys. Like I said it about Briscoe last year in situations too. And there's a difference between being aggressive and just not race. He doesn't race smart, and you're not gonna like. There's times to be aggressive and there's times to not, and he doesn't race smart. And it worked out for him on Sunday, but oftentimes it hasn't worked out for him. And like also you have the aspect now, and I feel like you see this more because number one, drivers are younger, and number two, there's no Tony Stewart in this series right now to go punch a guy in the fucking face and make a man out of him.
And
And
Kyle
I feel
Busch, he
like
said he was going to.
yeah, and he didn't, but
well, they're all
but
Well,
talk. I mean, Blaney said he's gonna beat the fuck out of someone who last year I forgot who it was, and what did he do? He just waddled away.
hey, as a Kyle Busch fan to this day, you know who I give credit to? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. because he said he was going to do it and he actually did
Man
it.
of his fucking word. Man of his
Yeah,
fucking
like
word.
I will, as a Kyle fan, I will always give credit to Ricky for that because Kyle wrecked Ricky. I feel like Kyle fucking deserved it, and Ricky was a man of his fucking word. Got
well,
fucking was
another thing is Carson also doesn't have the benefit of the doubt. Like he's been a dipshit in the Truck Series. He was fucking wrecking people on purpose, creating cautions. Doing dumb shit to get cautions. So you just don't have the general public on your side when you do
He
shit
wrecked
like this.
Burton under caution last year in the Cup
Yeah,
race at
yeah, you're
Nashville.
right. You're right.
Got a penalty for that.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
he just
it's
doesn't
just
race smart.
well, and like I said, it's just like when you have that track record, nobody's gonna put up with it. Even when you're racing hard and you make a mistake, a rookie mistake, truly rookie mistake, but people are gonna be like, "Well, you're a dumbass for doing that."
See, I don't get why the drivers complain though, because they do the same shit when there's 2 laps to go and they're battling for the lead.
It
It
wasn't
doesn't
two
matter.
laps to go.
But
I
it
know, I
wasn't
know,
When he
two
I
wrecked
know,
laps
I know.
ago.
But
Blaney, he
that's what I'm
wrecked
saying.
Blaney.
Oh
He
fuck. I
fucking
mean,
damn near wrecked Kyle Busch.
I'm
That
happy
was
with the Blaney
lap
one.
fucking 3.
But still, this is what I'm saying. They race the same way when the race is almost over. So why does it matter if someone else does it early in the race? Because they're doing the same exact shit at the very end of the race.
Because you got to get to the end of the race.
Well, they don't all race the
To
same way
finish
because
first, you first must finish.
Kyle Busch
Yeah,
had
and
two
that's what he's
chances.
trying to do. That's what he's trying to do.
You
He's
got to
trying to get up
get there
front.
first, bud.
Kyle
get
Busch
there
had two
first.
chances to race dirty and make the playoffs last year, and he didn't do it because he actually.
Nah,
risked
he
morals.
went brain dead.
Nah, he's got more respect than that.
Harrison
He's an
Burton,
OG.
come on. Harrison Burton, come on. He could have won that. He did not go down. He didn't block. If we're talking about
Yeah, he could
Daytona,
have caused a fucking sport ender and made the playoffs, and he chose to race it out fair instead. Like,
no,
and then he
no,
could
he
have roughed
didn't block. He
Briscoe up
didn't
at
block at all.
Darlington. He could
He
have
didn't
roughed
block at all.
Briscoe up at. He could have roughed Briscoe up at Darlington too, and didn't do it because he doesn't race
Look,
like
you
that.
better be thanking Kyle Busch because he's the reason Josh Berry was on the top. Led a lap this weekend.
No, fuck no.
True.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, shit.
The
They still
butterfly
booted.
effect is real, Bailey.
They still booted
The
Harrison for
butterfly
that shit.
effect is
They still
real.
booted Harrison.
I-
Hey, that
Harrison
AM
Burton
Racing
wins a
25.
race.
Hey,
Josh
that
Berry
AM,
leads a lap.
AM
I-
Racing, they're not doing too bad though. That program, they got consecutive top tens. I mean, compared to last year where you had the shitter Haley Deegan in that car.
I had to bring up with Carson to go along with what. Sorry, you cut out, Bailey. I didn't know if you were still talking.
No, it's good.
But you were saying about friends getting into NASCAR and Carson and all that. Like it's funny because I got a similar situation. Like friends who are getting into it a little bit, and they saw like a tweet where it's like NASCAR needs a good villain, and they posted Carson Hocevar, and were like asking me about it. Like I like this guy. Is he the villain? And I was like, no, no, no. I feel like to be a villain, you actually got to win some fucking races and be a contender. Like Denny Hamlin is a villain because he's a fucking great driver.
Kyle
Joey
Busch,
Logano
too.
is a villain because he's a fucking great driver. Kyle
Who?
Busch, like
Old Kyle
um,
Busch.
Who is the second
yeah,
one?
Joey Logano.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like those, you can't call yourself a fucking villain when like you're a non-fact. Like, so I told them it was funny.
At
They
that
were
point, you're
asking me
more a
about.
menace. You're not a villain. You're
That's
just
what
a
I.
menace.
You're a
That's
weapon.
basically what I said. I said he's more a nuisance than a villain. Like,
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah, no shit.
Get a couple wins under your belt, then we might call you a villain. We'll
Yeah,
call
Joey
you a
Logano,
heel.
villain. Denny Hamlin, villain.
Villain.
Like
Vintage
Kyle
Kyle
Busch,
Busch.
old days.
Villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like in Xfinity, Ty Gibbs. Like I wouldn't say it in Cup. He's calmed down a lot, but Team 54 is guy obviously. And in Xfinity, Ty Gibbs was a villain. Like
Yeah, I mean, like you
obviously.
said, go back to his last comment here. The worst thing he did was steal Brandon Jones' talent. Was that when he wrecked him at Martinsville?
I didn't know Brandon Jones had talent.
I mean, he did before that Martinsville race.
Dude,
I mean, I feel like it's every week. It's just it's like watching John Hunter race last season. It was just the most like you had your weekly scheduled caution. It was either for Brandon Jones on Saturday, and then on Sunday it was John Hunter.
That when Ty won that race at Martinsville, by the way, and Derek was there too. That was one of the loudest like boos like in person like fan.
yeah.
I'd never like boo and like and for an Xfinity race, dude, it was fucking loud. Like that was one of the most angry crowds I've. And it's funny, I met Junior coming down off the booth. I got him coming off the elevator from the broadcast booth after that race at that Martinsville when Ty Gibbs did that. And I asked him about it, and he was like, "That was dirty as fuck." He said it just like that. So, he was, but at that time, like in that series, he was definitely like, don't like the guy, but he was the reason a lot of people who were watching to fucking root against him. And I'm sure Team 54, like, I'm sure he would agree with that. Like at that time, he was a good, but. Like bottom line with Carson, it's like, yeah, you're not a villain when you're like in contention for the first time in your fucking career and you're being a dipshit
On a speedway.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from Cup? Michael
Go
McDowell.
21.
Michael McDowell, $1 million.
Oh my
last
god.
back.
Oh my god,
That was
so
cool.
good. Six.
Tied
I
the
think 6
all-time
lucky
record.
dogs
Yeah, 6 lucky dogs.
Tied the all-time record.
or waiver rounds or just
Mhm.
6 laps
And he
back.
still
something like that.
finished 13th. 6 lucky dogs and still finished 13th after it all.
Yep.
Ridiculous. He had
Pretty
bad luck
cool.
in the truck race and cup race and still came back. So I mean,
That's
I don't see.
that's a championship effort by that team.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Damn. Tony Spire's gonna be something. Give it 2 years.
Yeah, they got that game bridge money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like SVG had a really good race.
Yeah, he did.
Surprisingly, you know,
Championship 4, baby. Booking it.
Championship.
What
Championship
Travis
four.
made a deal with me. He said
book your tickets to Phoenix now, folks.
he said if SVG makes the championship 4, he'll buy me an SVG signed diecast.
Hey yo, okay.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the car, and he's like, Final Four. I was like, if SVG makes the fucking Final Four, I would. Because, like, we started joking about, like, he was like, well, that's not a good bet. And I was like, yeah, because it's not going to fucking happen. I was like, yeah, if Austin Dillon makes the Final Four, I'll get a tattoo of Austin Dillon's face on my face. Like,
See, but that's
like,
but
it's not going to fucking
that's not
happen.
even close. That will never come true. Never. So like that's one thing like I wouldn't even see that happening ever.
I love
But
SVG,
SVG.
by the way. I love SVG. I just like if he made the Final Four in his rookie year when he's been driving on ovals for 2 years, I'd be.
How about I make that
beyond
bet? How about
stoked.
I make? Can I make a bet for the Final Four? I know you can bet for a championship, but can I make that bet?
Just bet him for a championship.
To make the Final Four.
NASCAR Cup Series futures. If I do,
Bet him
it's
for a
plus
championship.
7,500.
Just cash out when he makes it.
Plus 7,500. I can do $10 or $760 right now.
Why not 20?
That's a lot of money.
Just cash out when he makes it.
Anyways, fucking CoTA.
Did you bet?
On Dakota.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
I spent too much money this weekend.
All right,
Yeah, I
no
did too.
trucks
I
this
feel that.
weekend. No trucks. Just a Saturday Xfinity Sunday Cup on the short course, cutting about a mile off. No, all the way down to the long turn and long
No
straightaway.
20-minute caution laps. That's what
I
I'm
ran
most
some laps
excited
on
about.
the track today. It's actually the little short shoot there is fast, and I mean I know the track map shows it's like maybe has a little bit of a chicane. It's not much of a chicane. It's pretty quick through there. I think and it's a little bit of elevation change. It seems like a lot of fun. I think
We got a
just
couple
happy
players
to-
this weekend too. We have a couple players. We got Byron running the 17. Got Ross, Corey Himes running for SHR. Host of ours running, and we also got Herps running for JGR.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got a couple
2
players
Austin
also.
Hills.
Yeah, they're. I'm happy. By the way, like I mentioned, like the caution laps at CoTA on the old layout were fucking. If I'm happy for anything, if it's the not 20-minute caution laps anymore.
I mean, they'll still be 15 minutes.
They won't be as bad as the old layout. I mean, you cut the track in half pretty much.
It's still pretty long.
Yeah, but
Either
it went
way.
from like 4.5 miles to like 2 something.
Either way, I like the layout.
Who you got? Who's winning?
All right, yeah, we got Xfinity and Cup this weekend. So who's leading us off?
Go ahead, Bailey.
I'll take first pick. I want to say Heim. I want to say it, but nice cat. I want to say it, but I don't think I don't. I'm gonna give it a little bit. He's running like what 9 races with SHR. I don't want to. I haven't seen a lot of speed from SHR, and I know Heim's pretty fast, so I don't want to sit here and say that I'm gonna place that bet. So, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna say give me Byron plus 300. I want to take Zilich, but I mean when you got players like that in the field.
Dude, the Zilich odds are fucking crazy.
Stupid.
They
dude.
are.
I wouldn't
They
touch
are.
it.
Zilich is plus
No.
175 Xfinity.
That's stupid.
If
I
he's,
mean,
so he's minus 380 to finish top 10. Like I wish I could get odds for him not to finish top 10 at this point.
When we were talking about it today, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'd take the bet to not finish top 10 on that. So
He has
check
better
your
odds than
books,
Ross,
folks.
who has won at this track in the same.
Okay, so they actually changed it up on DraftKings. So now SVG's plus 500 and Zilich is plus 600. So Zilich is not the top pick anymore.
Oh yeah, he's the second. Zilich is the second favorite on DraftKings. I'm looking at that now too. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's. I mean, and Xfinity. I mean, he's the favorite by a lot. It's plus 175, and then you go to Ross Chastain, who's in the JRM car, plus 300.
Where are
William
you seeing
Byron, who's
Xfinity odds, by the way?
DraftKings.
Oh
It's on
shit, I didn't
DraftKings.
see it.
It
William
just says
Byron plus 300, and then I mean, I'll go next if I can.
Go ahead.
Give me Sam Bear plus 1,300.
it's a good pick.
Somebody that's been in the car year round, full time. Uh, Give me old Sammy Mayer.
I'm
Yeah, I'm just
also
gonna
really
leave.
thinking about putting down a bet on Dean Thompson. I mean, he's plus 50,000. Like a top 10 is he's got a top 10 at plus 6,000 or top 5.
Nah, yeah, 6,000. I mean, you can go ahead and donate.
Y'all just gonna leave me the chalk again?
You get first pick for Cup.
No, I'm saying the chalk for
You gonna take
Xfinity.
Zilly?
Byron.
I already picked it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I already picked
Sorry,
Byron.
I thought you said Zilich. My bad.
Uh-uh.
Well, fuck it, I'll take Zilich then.
And this guy, of course, he's gonna get
All
fucking
right.
give me again
No,
because
actually,
we're trying to be different.
no, fuck that. Give me
Dare to be
Chastain.
different.
Actually, give me
Okay.
Chastain.
I think
actually.
Chastain's the pick, honestly. At the odds, I mean, I wouldn't touch Zilly unless those odds drop. Hopefully, he sucks in qualifying if you want to play him. But
So Derek, you're Mayor, Bailey's Byron, and I'm Chastain.
yeah, I got the long shot. All right, on to Sunday. Sunday. Travis, who you got leading us off?
I'm gonna take. I'm definitely gonna take the chalk for this one. I don't even care. SVG. Like he's
SVG
run
is
at this.
now the chalk.
He's run at this layout in supercars, and everybody said he's really fucking good at it when they did run it. And we've seen how good he is on road course. Like I'm taking SVG to the fucking bank, and like you got to think all his cup races besides his first year or last year. So he was with Colleague and was still almost like running in contention and almost winning those races and stuff. Now he's in a track house car, like an improvement from a Colleague car, and he's going to go to a track where he has more experience at than anybody else in the field. I'm taking SVG to the fucking bank. He said it's not the same layout. Is that true? As supercars when SVG ran there?
Yeah, it is.
Let me cook.
Team 54 is saying it's not quite the same layout.
Oh, okay.
But either way, I'm sticking with SVG. I think it's easy pick there. Plus 550. Give me that.
All right. I guess I'm up next. Give me Alex Bowman.
He said
Plus-
it's close, but
Plus 2,000.
I'm gonna be cooking with you. I'm gonna be cooking close with you. I'm gonna take Busher plus 2,500.
he said it's close but different cut through.
Okay.
So you said Busher, Bailey?
But yeah, Busher's waking up on road courses, man. He finally got his first road course win. He punted SVG as he should to win the Glen. Wish we would have won before the playoffs, but kind of had that playoff win, which is good. We had a couple chances, but shout out Kyle Larson for ruining that. So I'm gonna take Busher though. I feel like it'd be a solid pick, even if he doesn't. I feel like he'll be top 5. So no matter what.
Where are we drawing the line for top 10s? It's kind of nasty on here.
Let's do Carson down. Carson hosts far down, plus 300.
All right.
I think anything above that. Yeah, I think anything above that would kind of be.
Yeah.
So that's me first, I think.
Or we could do solid advice top 10, solid advice play top 10 this week if you wanted. Or we
Well,
could just
mine's
stay with the
both.
Losh.
Can I go
with it.
first? Because I got one that I think fits both.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna take Todd Gilliland plus 550.
Okay.
He's won here in trucks. He's a good road racer. He's always fast. He's very good over the weekend too. So I'm gonna go with Todd for my top 10.
There's a sleeper one down there too. I mean, Rowley plus 900. I mean, I don't know why your odds would be that low in a 2311 car to be a rookie. I get you're a rookie, but at the same time, plus 900 for a top 10.
Because
I think it's pretty low. Rowley's not bad. Rowley's not like you even said. He woke up last year. I mean, he did. He had what, 2 wins?
I think he woke up to be like a decent Xfinity driver, but I don't think he's.
We'll see.
The car he's in.
We'll see. I don't think he is either. It's just monster money is all that is. But I mean, it's kind
Speaking of which, 2311 signed Corey Heim this week. We didn't mention that.
of. Yep.
You're right.
He signed. I forgot when he's running, what his first race is, but Cooper sold on that. He's all Heim. So, but anyways, Riley. I mean, plus 900. That's a steal.
Solid play. Give me Cole Custer plus 350. Got a top 5 last year. Finished 4th in the Xfinity race with some heavy hitters, Kyle Larson in that race, AJ Allmendinger. So, yeah, give me Cole Custer to get top 10 this week.
Cole
That's
is
my long shot.
plus 460 on FanDuel, by the way.
Yeah, so shop around, folks. As always, get your good odds in.
You were saying solid advice top 10, by the way. I got two. First off, plus odds. Really good here. Kyle Busch is plus 105. I think that's a good play. And then also really good here. I think Daniel Suarez at plus 135 is going to be a good one.
Hell yeah.
So, like, yeah, my long shot.
I see Michael McDowell plus 140 on DraftKings. That's
I like
the
that one too.
That's the one I was thinking is like solid top 10 play. Is something you can lock in early in the week, and especially after that rally last week, you know they'll be looking for
Or
a
even
good
Carson. Carson plus 300. He's gonna
Carson
boot
plus
the fuck,
300.
boot the
Kamikaze
fuck out of some
Carson.
people. Boot the fuck out of some people. Get up front.
Hey,
Get
if
a
you
top
need a
10.
top 10, just go wreck them in turn 1, baby.
Yeah.
If you can't beat them, wreck them.
I mean,
That's Austin Dillon's motto.
Kyle was plus 105. I just want to point out, and he finished second.
He's minus 115 on mine. So like I said, shop around.
He finished second here 2 years ago, and then he was running second here last year when Bell dumped him, because that's when him and
That's a
Bell
good
got
point.
into it. That's
a
when him
good
and Bell
point.
got into it after the race.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So I think Kyle, like I said, especially you said it was minus on yours of FanDuel. He's plus 105. So I think that's a good, just easy money play. I think Kyle can definitely run top 10 here.
Team 54 here. He's giving us a little nugget, saying this is obviously he's Team 54, saying this is Ty's best track stats wise. So if he could, he'd play for a top 5. That's a plus 250 right now for a top 5. So not bad. I like it. I like some fan feedback, some fan plays for the week. All right, boys. I'm getting out of here. 4:30
Fuck
comes
yeah.
early. I'll
It
catch
does.
y'all on the flip
540.
flip side.
540 comes early too.
Yes, sir.
Jesus. Well, good show, boys. Good
Good
talking.
one.
Team 54. Appreciate you. The comments.
Yeah, comments, keep them coming. It was good.
Yeah.
Good to have some audience in here.
Fuck
And shout
yeah.
out to the 37 people watching, 35 on Twitter,
Hey.
and 2 on YouTube. So shout out
Appreciate
to
y'all.
you fans for watching. We appreciate
Is this
it.
on the Rose 1 through 10 account?
Yes,
Okay, so y'all bought the blue check.
I did.
Well, I owe you money for that. So you told me how much I owe you, but you know.
Half.
If I'm gonna be back on here, I'm gonna pay my cut too, since I'm gonna be back
Yeah,
on
you better.
days for a while.
Quitter.
Yeah, we'll
But
figure it
yeah,
out, boys. W
as soon as-
stream,
Yeah.
boys. Have a good one. I'll be back next week, fresh off my flight from Florida.
Sorry.
I'll catch y'all later.
Deuces.
See ya.